Minister of Finance Colm Imbert calls on the United National Congress to stop spreading fake news. This was his response to a private motion in the Senate on Tuesday. The motion, brought by opposition Senator Wade Mark, asks the government to table valuation reports on the Galleons passage. Karen Phillip has more in this report.
Minister of Finance Colm Imbert strongly rejected the private motion on the Galleons passage brought by the opposition.
This motion has no merit. I reject it in its entirety. It's bogus. It is based on untruths. There is not a shred of evidence to support any insinuation or allegation made by Senator Mark. This motion is nonsense and should not be wasting the time of honorable senators in this chamber today, Madam President.
Minister Imbert said the government did not rely on the in-house valuation prepared by Oceanic Design and Survey, prepared for sea lease ship leasing. He said the government instead chose to go with an estimate from Schulte Marine, a reputable firm used globally.
So we have a design which has been used by 47 countries. We have an independent valuation by one of the top ship valuers in the world that says this vessel is worth 35 million US dollars. We have numerous inspection reports which tell us this is a brand new vessel, new build, doing its final sea trials in November 2017. But I have to hear this fiction about how the boat was launched and was sailing all over the China seas from 2016 to 2017. It's a figment of Senator Mark's imagination. Fake news.
Minister Imbert also countered Senator Mark's argument that a broker benefited from the sale of the Galleons passage.
Everything he has said here today is not true. As I indicated, we got the offer directly from the owner. And since the owner was corresponding directly with the government, there was no broker. This is the second time I've heard this bogus story about some bogus broker called I Am Something with somebody called Aitken Head. It is a fiction. It's a total untruth.
The finance minister reiterated the purchase of the Galleons passage was a straight transaction, and he called on the opposition to back up their claims with documentation. Karen Phillip, C News.
Earlier, opposition Senator Wade Mark filed a motion calling on the Minister of Finance, Colm Imbert, to say which company was paid $17.4 million for the purchase of the Galleons passage. Sherilyn Lewis reports.
UNC Senator Wade Mark called on the Finance Minister to provide to the Senate the evaluation and arbitration reports, as well as the memorandum of agreement between NIDCO and the provider from whom the Galleons passage is being acquired. This after he said it had been brought to his attention Sea Transport Corporation had sold a boat, but NIDCO sent payments to Sea Management Corporation Services in Australia for the ferry instead.
There is need for the Minister of Finance to inform this Parliament in whose name or in which company's name was the US $17.4 million deposited. Was it Sea Transport Corporation, whose asset base on their balance sheets, based on research conducted?
Senator Mark also queried why Sea Management Corporation is a family-funded company and isn't on the stock exchange market in Australia.
Here where we understand the money went to. It went to Sea, here the name of the company, Sea Management Corporation Services, not Sea Transport Corporation, Pty Limited, as trustee.
Mr. Mark said the lack of transparency by the Finance Minister in bringing these pertinent information into the public domain is the reason behind the motion.
When the Minister referred to a number of companies which played significant roles in the ultimate acquisition and or procurement of the now infamous Galleons passage.
The Galleons passage is expected to arrive in Trinidad from Cuba by July 16th. Shirley Lewis, C News.